So I'm Dr. Judy, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about something called linguistics. And linguistics is the study of language, and it's also about how our brain works with language. Does anybody speak more than one language or practice more than one language? So it's really cool if you have experience with different types of languages, because your brain has a really good understanding of words and vocabulary. We always learn vocabulary like in every class, and it can be really boring. But vocabulary is very, very important because vocabulary actually changes the way your brain is wired. If you picture a brain, you know how it's kind of wrinkly, it has all those wrinkles in it. So it actually changes the way your brain looks the more words you know in a language. And so that's why it's very important for your teachers to teach you vocabulary. And we want to learn vocabulary in a way that it sticks and we remember. Because I don't know if you've taken like a vocab test before and you might do okay on it, but then a couple weeks later you do not remember those words. That ever happens to you? That means we didn't learn vocabulary enough to make it stick. Maybe? Okay. So if we think of a spider web, I like the image of a spider web. So like we have a word in the middle of a spider web, and the more things we do with that word, the more we use it or practice it, the stickier it gets to our brain. So that's why we do all these different things with words. So we're going to take some of your vocab words today, and we're going to do multiple things with them that will help us learn the word, but also remember. And think about your brain is only going to remember and keep the things that you tell it is important. It knows if you think it's important because you practice it or because you feel strongly about it. If you've ever had an experience to where you've had really strong feelings, I can tell you about my first day of college. I was walking up the stairs, and then like a moron, I fell, and it wasn't just like a little fall. It was like, boom, face on the stairs, books behind me, like a really bad experience. Okay, not the way you want to start your first day of new school. So I'm never going to forget that because I have really strong feelings about that. So you may have had an experience with really strong feelings. You're going to remember that. Your body makes sure that your brain keeps anything that you have a strong emotional experience with. So feelings and practice are really important when we're trying to remember things. So how are we going to learn today? Well, one, I need you to talk to me and we're going to read things together. Teachers is important. Our baseline is 20 minutes a day. We want to read 20 minutes a day out loud together orally, and that improves our reading fluency and our comprehension, and 20 minutes is the baseline for that. So anything we read, we're going to read together and say out loud. Also, your brain remembers things that you say, not things that I say. So it's important that you talk a lot. And then next thing is that we're going to find a partner. We're going to do a lot of turn and talks. So anybody that's on this side of the table, you're going to be a number one. So you guys are ones. If you have several people, you guys can be ones. You're ones. If you're on like the left side of the table, you're a one. If you're on the right side of the table, you're a two. So when I say turn and tell your partner or talk to your partner, don't get caught up in the ones or twos. Just find somebody to talk to. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to practice and make sure we're talking. And why are we doing that? Because you're going to remember the things that you say. So first word, and I already heard Mrs. Farr talk about it today, but the word convergent. So say it with me. Convergent. Say it again. Convergent. Okay. Nice job. So convergent, we're going to say it out loud, and we're going to syllabicate. That means break it down into chunks. Convergent. With me? Convergent. And then we're going to break out the sounds in the word. So me first. Okay, so try it with me. Why do we do that? Because you write and spell the way that you hear things. And so we pull out the syllables and the sounds one or two times because that's going to help your brain when you come up with that word to be able to spell it and move and remember it longer. And then we pull out the parts of the word. These little parts of the word are called morphemes. And that's the most meaningful part of a word. So we think of one word has one definition. And that's not really how words work. Words work, they're made up of these little parts that have their own meanings, and then you can build them and switch them around, and like Legos, and build a new thing. So that's what we can do with word parts. So con means together, verge means moving or bending, and ent as a suffix means the characteristic of. So here's the cool magical thing we can do with morphemes. We can just say them backwards. It's called mapping backwards, and it magically gives us the definition. So if I'm like, I don't know what convergent means, but I know these parts, I can figure it out. It's the characteristic of moving or bending together. That's the definition. So then to use the word, if I'm going to use it, I know that it's an adjective or a word that describes things. So I'm going to use it as a description. If I looked up the word in a book or from its original source, it means coming together or at one point. Read it with me. Coming together at one point. Some synonyms, read it with me. Merging, meeting, coming together. And here's the visual. Two roads that are separate, but they're coming together. And what does con mean?
Coming together.
Together. Means together. That's right. So let's practice it. So if I use an example, here are two simple examples. Read them with me. My ideas are merging. explain that you're all Shape. Okay, like what is that word? Just like stand. I